2022 was a big year, with a huge amount of bad news, but also plenty of good news and things to smile about. Here's our pick of all the positive accomplishments of 2022. In January, for the first time, scientists were able to explain what triggered the formation of stars in the Milky Way. In February, a groundbreaking spinal implant was key to helping paralyzed patients walk, cycle, and even swim again. And a team of researchers in the US said they had potentially cured HIV in a woman, which would make her the first female to be cured of the virus. In March, scientists decoded the entire human genome, filling in millions of missing pieces of DNA. A breakthrough so momentous that many people in the field thought it would never happen. There was also a milestone for women's football when a crowd of more than 91,000 broke the attendance record for a women's club match when Barcelona played Real Madrid at Barça's Camp Nou stadium, the first time the women's team had played on the iconic pitch in front of a crowd. The 5th of March was a historical day for Egyptian women as the country made history with its first female judge to sit on the bench of a top court in Cairo. Also by March, the world had installed enough solar panels to generate 1 terawatt of electricity, enough to power the whole of Europe. In April, 2 notebooks that had belonged to Charles Darwin, filled with his notes and sketches, including the famous Tree of Life drawing, were anonymously returned 22 years after they mysteriously disappeared. Plant-based foods also broke records with billions in sales, according to figures released by the Plant-Based Food Association. In May, scientists managed to grow plants in lunar soil, which could make longer stays on the moon a reality. In June, a miracle drug trial eradicated cancer tumors for more than a dozen US rectal cancer patients, and it was hailed as a first in cancer treatment. In July, the world's second largest emitter of greenhouse gases, the United States, made what was called the most ambitious potential action ever taken by the country to address global warming by investing billions in clean energy. And for the first time, 3 women were appointed to a Vatican committee that advises Pope Francis on candidates for bishops around the world, a move to give women a bigger voice in the Catholic Church's operations. In August, Scotland became the first country to make access to free period products a legal right, at a time when around 1 in 10 girls in the United Kingdom were unable to afford sanitary towels and tampons. In September, the latest technology from the Ocean Cleanup, a Dutch project developing systems to clean up the floating plastic from the oceans, was shown to have the potential to remove 90% of this plastic by 2040. And the ozone layer was also announced to be recovering. Researchers from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration predict it will close in the next 50 years. The biggest ever 4-day week trial that started in the UK was hailed a success and supported by 86% of the companies who tried it. In October, a successful lawsuit by 3 NGOs meant that the UK government conceded that its plan to cut carbon emissions was inadequate and that it needed to come up with a better one. Also in October, founders of German firm BioNTech, which along with Pfizer manufactured the revolutionary mRNA COVID-19 vaccine, told the BBC they had made recent breakthroughs that could see a cure for cancer before the end of the decade. In November, the sustainability section of Euronews had its most popular story of the year when a type of giant tortoise that everyone thought was extinct was found to be alive. Scientists in Switzerland reached a new efficiency record for transparent solar cells, paving the way for electricity-generating windows that could help power our homes and devices. Researchers injected lab-created blood into people for the first time, marking a key first step towards making lab-grown red blood cells available for patients who frequently need transfusions or who have rare blood types. Camera-equipped sharks mapped out the world's largest carbon reservoir when they showed researchers the biggest seagrass meadow yet discovered. And new sunglasses that let deaf people see conversations by adding subtitles to nearby speech were launched worldwide. In December, Stéphanie Frappart from France made history as the first woman to take charge of a men's World Cup match. And off the beach, Japan fans quietly reminded the world of one of the most basic lessons of being a guest. Always leave things as you find them. A 95-year-old woman, Angela Alvarez, became the oldest person not only to be nominated, but to win in the category of Best New Artist at the Latin Grammys. And after decades of research, scientists carried out a nuclear fusion reaction that produced more energy than went into it, imitating the process that powers stars to produce energy on Earth. And best of all, in 2022, the Good News Roundup was created to bring you stories of hope. If you have been with us for a while, we hope you enjoyed a year's worth of good news. But if you're new, you can dig deeper into each one of the good news stories of 2022 by heading to the Good News playlist on the Euronews channel. From the team of Good News and Euronews, we wish you the happiest new year. Until soon, and never forget, some news can be good news.